It's fascinating what you're talking about, because I want to talk about workplace stress.
Yeah.
I reckon I've gone through life pretty much unstressed by many things in the workplace. But I can relate to a couple of moments where I know I was stressed by something. I was stressed by a very difficult client relationship that had started to break down.
Yeah.
That was out of my control, but I knew it was causing the client to be unhappy with me and me. And I was working for my company at the time, a different company at the time, and how the client felt about them. And I remember going to a meeting and coming up from that meeting feeling really stressed on the train, and then I noticed my heart rate was not right. Yeah. So I started taking my own pulse, and I realised I was skipping beats. So I phoned my surgery, and they said, that doesn't sound right, get in here straight away. And they ECG tested me, and they said, this is stress, this is... And it's the first time ever anyone had said to me, that is stress related.
Yeah.
And actually, when that issue was resolved, because it was resolved about a week later, I brought it to a resolution and we dealt with it. It just went.
Yeah.
So that is so weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
And that is workplace stress. And because we spend more time at work than almost anything else in our lives,
Exactly.
it's probably the biggest trigger.
Yeah.
So how do we cope with workplace stress? How are people managing workplace stress?
Something from what you said is about recognizing your stress signature. So for you, that those changes to your heart rate is part of your stress signature, your own stress response. We all have our own individual stress response. For me, if I'm stressed, I notice my shoulders go up like this.
Really?
And I have to go, and then I get aches and pains.
Right.
Other people, it might be that they avoid or they withdraw. So notice, what is your response to stress?
Yeah.
Because that will first of all be part of increasing that awareness. And then it's looking at what positive coping mechanisms you can put in place. So we've all got what we call positive and negative coping mechanisms. So I'm going to share mine without any judgment.
Okay.
So one of my negative coping mechanisms when I'm stressed is that I'll eat large packets of crisps.
Oh, I love that. I love crisps. I mean, you've got the same coping mechanism. I love it.
But they've got nothing to do with the stressor. It's not going to solve it. And then afterwards, I feel quite, ooh.
Yeah.
And I'm like, maybe I should have thought about a different way to manage that.
Yeah.
For some people, their negative coping mechanism can be avoidance. It can be increased use of substances, whether that be alcohol, for example. So it's bringing awareness to what those negative ones are that we use, again, without judgment, but focusing on the positive ones we can use instead at work.
Yeah.
Sometimes these workplace situations aren't within our control.
Yeah.
And it's recognizing that. And then that means the positive coping mechanisms that we can use are mostly around managing that stress emotion. So it might be things like journaling, going for a run, going for a walk, movement.
Yeah.
It might be things like speaking with a friend, taking part in a hobby you enjoy. So it's looking at those positive coping mechanisms that you can put in place that just kind of creates more capacity and supports your emotions around that stress, because you kind of acknowledge that maybe this is the stressor itself is outside of my control. But sometimes if the stressor is within your control, then you're thinking about what are some problem solving skills I can use to either reduce or eliminate that stressor specifically. So you're looking at resources. Who can I ask for help with this project at work, for example?
I love that. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing that. That's actually really helpful to me personally.